everybody. Okay, so today we are talking about flour, and I'm going to do a demonstration for you of one of my favorite cookie recipes. So an easy flour swap that is going to be better for your blood sugar regulation is preheated oven, is anything that says that it's sprouted. So I love spelt flour. Spelt especially is incredible for blood sugar regulation. It is not going to give you a really high spike because it is really low on the glycemic index. So anytime you see sprouted, so this recipe calls for sprouted spelt, which you buy this is the same brand. You buy this at any health food store or online. And then this is sprouted oats. I get this at Costco. So sprouted essentially just means it's almost like a fermentation process. So it's just, again, healthier for your blood sugar. It's not going to spike your insulin. So this recipe calls for 2 cups of spelt flour. So I'm going to put that in here. I oftentimes measure on a scale, but I'm not today. So 2 cups of spelt, and then 1 cup of sprouted oats. I don't know if you can see me. I have these things, and so I'm having to avoid them all the time. All right, 1 cup of sprouted oats, and then you add 3/4 cup of an avocado oil or a coconut oil. I prefer coconut oil, so I'm going to just add this in and mix that together with some maple syrup. So this is going to be, where's my big thing go? I need 3/4 cup of maple syrup. Right there. Perfect. And I buy this organic maple syrup at Costco, big shocker. And then it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of salt, or you can always add a little bit more salt. So I say 1/2 to a heaping 1/2. How about that? And then it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Easy peasy. It calls for a dash of vanilla. Little dash. I measure nothing. I buy most of all my things at Costco. So it's pure vanilla extract. And then I keep an unsweetened organic applesauce nearby in case it seems dry. So let me make sure I put everything in. Yes, 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 yes. And then I'm going to mix this together. This is a cordless KitchenAid mixer. Truly one of my favorite gifts of all time. My dad bought it for me for Christmas. And so this is just getting deliciously wet and mushy. And it's a pretty wet batter. So sometimes if I feel it's too wet, this is an eyeball situation. Because these flours are different in consistency, they're going to feel different to work with. So you just got to keep that in mind. So just think about this healthy cookie. You got organic coconut oil, you got sprouted flours, sprouted oats, organic maple syrup. I mean, your kids will not know the difference. Then wait for it. So I don't think I'm going to need any applesauce in this batch. Okay. And then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of 1/4 cup of Lily's either white chocolate or milk chocolate, and then the same amount of dark chocolate. That's why I like a little extra salt, to be honest, because I love dark chocolate and salt. So let me get my little handy dandy guy here. And what I like to do is I like to mix these up, and then I will roll this out like slice and bakes and roll up in a wax paper, or not wax, but a parchment paper. And then I put it in the refrigerator for a while. And I will literally make a huge cookie out of this, probably like that big. And then I'll bake it at 350 for, I don't know, I think the recipe calls for 12 minutes, but you just have to eyeball it, and it's all about how ooey gooey you like your cookies. I want to show you something else related to sprouts. So even here, I love pumpkin seed. These are sprouted pumpkin seeds. So now that you know this, I mean, pumpkin seed is not going to spike your glycemic index because it's a seed and a fat. It's not a sugar at all. But anytime you see sprouted, that means that it's gone through that extra process of fermentation. So like sprouted lentils, if you struggle with lentils, let's say they upset your tummy, if you sprout your own, or if you buy sprouted lentils, that's not going to upset your tummy because of that extra step of fermentation. So I just thought that that would be helpful for you. I will show you pictures of our cookie, but I'm going to put these on my little baking mat here. I have my Our Place cookware. Put it on here, bake them for 12 to 14 minutes at 350. So super fun. I hope you enjoy.